We see Sylveon here. Look at this swap out into the Poliwrath, taking the super effective damage. Rank 1 strats right here. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Ox here with another video. If you're new to the channel, we do upload Pokemon Go content mostly related to PvP. And if you're a returning subscriber like Charlie Espinoza, thank you for the support. In today's video, we are taking a look at the first battles of Season 9 for Pokemon Go Battle League, and we are featuring two of the Pokemon that did receive changes for their moveset, Nidoking and Poliwrath. Now this team definitely is not a good team at all, but you have to remember these are rank 1 battles, and I figured why not try showcasing both of these Pokemon at the same time on a pretty weak team. So Nidoking did gain access to Sand Tomb, which is going to lower the opponent's defense. It isn't quite as good as Poison Fang, so between Nidoqueen and Nidoking, I definitely think the Queen has the advantage, and if you could only build one of them, you definitely want to build the Nidoqueen instead. Poison Fang requires less energy and also deals more damage, so it's definitely the better move between that and Sand Tomb. Poliwrath with Scald is a very interesting pick because Poliwrath has a very strong moveset to choose from. You have Ice Punch, Dynamic Punch, and now Scald. So with Mudshot as the fast move, you're going to be generating energy very quickly. In this particular video, I decided to go with Ice Punch as a bait move, and then Scald, you definitely could make the case for Dynamic Punch, but I should note that Scald is probably my favorite move from the main series games, so I was very excited to be able to test it out in Pokemon Go. With that said, I definitely do not recommend this specific team comp, but this video is to take a look at how Poliwrath and Nidoking perform in the early ranks of Go Battle League. If you guys enjoy this type of content, please make sure you smash that like button to help the channel grow. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Now, without any further ado, let's jump into the first battle right now. Alright, so before everybody starts leaving the comments, well, this team sucks, what do you do against this, what do you do against that? I know this team is bad. The purpose of this video is to showcase Poliwrath and Nidoking. These are rank 1 battles, so I'm not too worried about the team comp, and I'm not really trying to go too try hard at this point of the season. So with that said, let's hop into battle number 1. You can see right here, we are leading an Alolan Ninetales, Poliwrath and Nidoking in the back. Which one will operate as a safe switch, I guess, depends on the lead. In this match, we see a horrible lead in the form of Nidoqueen, so we're going to swap out into Poliwrath. And notice in this first match, I'm actually running Bubble, which isn't what I wanted to run as a fast move. I did want to run Mudshot, so after this game, I did TM that away to Mudshot, and here comes an Umbreon. And we're gonna go straight for the Scald, and Scald, honestly, this is like my favorite move in the main series games. The amount of smoke, look at this smoke right there coming through the screen, that is epic. Hot water, that's some burning water right there. A water move that can burn the opponent is pretty damn epic. We get taken out by the Psychic. We're gonna come back in with the Ninetales right here. So Scald, if you guys haven't used Scald yet in the game, I highly recommend you use Scald, turn the volume all the way up and just listen to it. It's so satisfying. Probably the best move in the game. As we see some of that quality Go Battle lag right here, and we had a lot of it in day number 1 of Season 9 Go Battle League. Going for the Dazzling Gleam, takes out the Umbreon. Opponent comes back in with the Nidoqueen, and we are going to go for the Weather Ball, which should get a shield from the opponent. And it does. So swap out into the Nidoking, and the opponent instantly swaps out into Scrafty. So at this point, they're down a shield. They probably think I'm gonna go for the bait with the Sand Tomb. Looking to test it out. No sir, Earth Power coming through, dealing heavy damage. At this point, if it's a foul play, I definitely want to shield it up, so we do that. Going to farm down with Poison Jab at this point, and the opponent comes back in with the Nidoqueen. So I'm gonna go for the Sand Tomb here. Could potentially be an Earth Power. They might shield this up. They decide to let it go through, and at this point, they have to throw an Earth Power to knock us out, so I'm going to allow them to do that. But since we've already lowered their defense with the Sand Tomb, we're ahead on health, able to farm down with the Powder Snow, taking that sweaty game in rank 1, the first game of Season 9. Bad lead, come back to win. We'll take it. Pretty solid performance there by Nidoking. And we get a pretty difficult lead here once again for Ninetales in the form of Skarmory. The main problem with Skarmory is that it kind of beats this entire line, right? So that's where the issue lies. It's not that it's so bad for Ninetales, because Ninetales can kind of hold its own, especially with shields. But the backline is so weak to Skarmory that we kind of need to stay in here with the Ninetales, right? And then if they have a second flyer, it's pretty much GG's. So we throw the Weather Ball, that gets the shield from the opponent, and we're going to get to another Weather Ball here, so I'm going to throw that once again. I'm definitely going to be using both shields in order to get rid of this Skarmory, because I don't want any of my backline to be going up against this. And speaking about Nidoking, you know, I think that it's pretty good, but definitely still second tier compared to Nidoqueen. Poison Fang is just a much better move than Sand Tomb. It deals more damage, also requires less energy, so Nidoking still isn't up there. They should have just given it Poison Fang, to be honest, but they probably felt it was already too broken on Nidoqueen. They didn't want to add a second one, so could kind of understand that as well. We see Sylveon here. Look at this swap out into the Poliwrath, taking the super effective damage. Rank 1 strats right here, going for the SCALD, dealing some nice damage, but we are about to get absolutely chunked away. Thankfully, the opponent throws right here, so that was definitely a horrible play on my part, swapping out into the Poliwrath, but you know, it is what it is. Rank 1 coming with the Nidoqueen. It's another Scrafty in the back, and again, some more Go Battle Lag. Maybe it's a Scrafty thing, but Go Battle Lag out of control today. We should definitely survive this move right here, even if it is a foul play. And actually, I think if it wasn't for lag, maybe we would outpace it to the Earth Power. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe not. But either way, that lands, does huge damage. I'm going to look to farm down simultaneous KO. But look at this. We left with the Weather Ball stored so that we could hit the Sylveon with the bang 1 HP KO. Take that game. And we're off to a 2-0 start here in some relatively sweaty battles to start off this season. So Vitamina in the next match. We got Ninetales. Whoa, it's a throw. That is definitely spicy, and I have no idea what that fast move is, but it looks really damn cool. It looks like it's, I don't even, Fire Fang or something. I don't know what that animation is. It looks like some Dragon Ball Z stuff, but we go for Weather Ball. And I was prepared to shield here because I actually have no idea what the heck this thing runs. And I actually looked it up after, and it actually has access to Body Slam and Focus Blast. And because they actually didn't throw a Body Slam, I figured they're probably single moved and only have Focus Blast. That's probably what they were going for there. But we take them out with the Dazzling Gleam. Toxicroak comes in. We have a nice energy lead here, going to throw the Weather Ball and swap out into the Poliwrath. And at this point, probably going to shield up, and it is a dynamic punch. So they probably aren't running much shot. I feel like this is probably another single move team. Again, remember, these are rank 1 battles, so a lot of these players are going to have single move Pokemon as the SCALD deals the heavy damage. Snorlax coming in, and I remember this battle. Poliwrath went to work on this team. So SCALD coming through, doing about 50% of the Snorlax health right there. I love seeing that steam come off the opponent's Pokemon. The next SCALD coming through. This is about to burn the Snorlax to the emergency room. Get on out of there. We are off to a 3-0 start here in Season 9 with, I guess, the somewhat spicy team. I don't know, I guess it's kind of spicy, right? Like, this isn't a good team. If you put on PvP Poke, I'm pretty sure it's going to be like FDC or something. Horrible lead once again here. Ninetales into the Talonflame, so I swap out into a Nidoking. I mean, we don't really have another option for this, right? I get like Poliwrath, I guess, but that's kind of our only counter, if you want to call it that, so I can't bring that in. Go for the Sand Tomb, and at this point, I think the only play here, to be honest, is to double shield and just look to farm this thing down with Poison Jab. So we're going to double shield right here and complete the farm down with Poison Jab, assuming they stay in, which they do, and we are able to complete the farm down there, but we're down 2 shields. Loaded on energy though, so that's very nice. Opponent comes in with Sceptile, which is pretty interesting because it's going to be taking a lot of damage here from these Poison Jabs. I throw one Sand Tomb. I probably should have swapped out and banked the other Sand Tomb for later, but I actually decided to stay in here. I don't really like this play. It's kind of a noob play, but it is what it is. Swap out to Ninetales and then farm out the Powder Snow. So now the opponent has 2 shields left. They have a Poliwrath in the back. We don't have that Sand Tomb, unfortunately, to lower the defense here, and they can't swap out. So not the optimal situation, but the opponent goes for the Power Punch. So at this point, I figure they're probably running like Power Up Punch plus SCALD, and they're looking to just obliterate my final Pokemon with these 2 shields. So I go for the Weather Ball here. And we're going to take a move here. I'm expecting a pretty heavy move, but it's actually another Power Up Punch. So at this point, I figure, you know what? Maybe they're saving the shield for the 3rd Pokemon. So let's just go for the Nuke right now, because if it's Weather Ball, it won't do anything. Dazzling Gleam coming through. They were not expecting that right there. And they get knocked out. So we are off to a 4-0 start. Definitely, my play for that game was actually to stay in and do as much damage as I can, then finish it off with the SCALD on the Poliwrath to see how much it does, but didn't work out. Another horrible leader. So I think we had 5 bad leads in this set, and we're currently 4-0. So let's see if we complete the 5-0 against 5 very difficult leads right here. Again, swapping out into Nidoqueen, and a very nice catch from the opponent. Of course, it is only a Sand Tomb, so it's not the worst case scenario. And the opponent is actually running Water Gun, on their Lapras here. So I'm going to build up to the Earth Power. This will probably be enough to KO the Lapras. And since they're running Water Gun, even if it doesn't, we're actually able to farm that before they get to another move. So not the best scenario, but this right here is absolutely horrendous. Gengar coming in. And you already know Gengar with a shield advantage plus an energy advantage is basically unstoppable. And at this point, I was expecting maybe it's a nuke, so they go for the Sludge Bomb, and we shield that up. And when they went for Sludge Bomb, I was thinking, you know what, this is probably a single move Gengar, to be honest. So we're about to get wrecked by a single move Gengar here in some rank 1 battles. Not able to get off the Ice Punch, which is a little bit devastating. Sludge Bomb comes through. And at this point, it is confirmed. This is a single moved Gengar going to work on the team. Sludge Bomb coming through. Self bang right there. We get taken out. And that ends the winning streak, but 4-1 still pretty solid. Let's hop into set number 2 in some rank 2 battles. So hopping into set number 2 here, we are now rank 2, and the opponents should be getting tougher as we climb. Ninetales into Toxicroak, pretty solid lead right here. But Counter still does some pretty nice damage. As you can see, this Ninetales taking a lot of damage, to be honest, from those counters. It is counter, it's definitely not Poison Jab. But the opponent shields that up, yeah, that's counter. Gonna go for the Weather Ball right here. And if they shield a second time, I'm actually gonna swap out. And they do, so I swap out into Poliwrath. That's actually the simultaneous swap out into the Bastiodon. More go battle lag, you love to see it. But Poliwrath about to scald on this Bastiodon. Pretty nice damage right there coming from the scald. Honestly, this, like, the Bastiodon should be taking damage every turn from the burn. There should be status effects here. Scald takes out the Bastiodon. Toxicroak comes back in. We're gonna shield this up. It's a Sludge Bomb, so a nice shield right there. And we're going for the Ice Punch. And I was actually surprised by this because that Toxicroak's relatively healthy. Ice Punch takes it out from that range. Was not expecting that. Azumarill in the back. Now the correct thing to do here is to just swap out into Nidoking immediately. But I want to see how much a Scald does. There it is for the science. And at this point, I actually don't know what the heck I'm doing. So I didn't throw the Scald there because I actually didn't want to prolong the match by having another charge move animation and stuff for the editing process. But I come in with Nidoking, and this Azumarill actually, it gets the energy pretty quickly, it seems, because there's a Hydro Pump. And I'm trying to farm down here, and it actually gets to another move. I mean, watching it sped up, they actually definitely did get a lot of bubbles through. Poliwrath comes through, we're able to survive that. Farm down, win the game with 200 plus energy. Nidoking exerting its dominance in these rank 2 battles, going up against a rank 1 in the next match. We got Alolan Ninetales into a Talonflame, so a lot of really bad leads here. And apparently these fire type birds are very popular in the lower ranks, so I actually decided to stay in here, which is definitely a mistake. I was thinking about the Ultra League simulation. I think in Ultra League, Ninetales could actually win in the 2 shields with Powder Snow, but that's definitely not the case in the Great League, as I found out. So I'm actually going to throw another Weather Ball and then swap out, because at this point I realize this is a horrible matchup for us to be in. We get the shield, which is really nice, and we come in with the Poliwrath, and a very nice swap by the opponent there to catch the Ice Punch. Now, speaking about the moveset for Poliwrath, there is the case to be made for Dynamic Punch, Ice Punch, Scald, Dynamic Punch. It was really hard to decide what I wanted to run. I wanted to run Scald just to showcase it, of course, but I didn't really want to give up the Ice Punch, in particular because this team is so weak to flying that I figured having Ice Punch is probably necessary. But Dynamic Punch definitely is going to come in handy, especially in this match right here. Dynamic Punch could have one-shot the Abomasnow, but fortunately for us, the opponent actually appears to be single move, which means that we didn't have to shield here and just tank these Weather Balls, avoid the Energy Ball, which definitely would have knocked us out. And now we're in a really nice spot because that means a Scald is coming through on the Talonflame. Bang! It is Talonflame getting taken out. Stunfisk in the back. Poliwrath going to work with the Mudshot Scald combo right here. Huge damage to the Stunfisk. Swap out into the Ninetales. I bring in Ninetales here in order to dump some of the energy on this Stunfisk. And then I'm going to come in with the Nidoking. And at this point we have a shield. All we have to do is shield the Earthquake. So If they bait here with Rock Slide, then we probably have to go for Sand Tomb. However, if it is Earthquake, we will definitely get to the Earth Power. So because they went for Earthquake, we could safely get to the Earth Power right here. If they threw the Rock Slide bait, might have had to go for the Sand Tomb instead and hope to close out the game that way. But things worked out in our favor that time. We take that game. Let's hop into the next battle. We got a rank 4 right here, so double our rank. We got Alolan Ninetales into a Galvantula. And Galvantula is kind of a, I mean, it's kind of a tricky lead because Nidoking does very well, Poliwrath kind of loses, and in this Ninetales match, it's pretty good for Ninetales, but it can lose if they land a discharge and start shielding as well. So gonna go for the Weather Ball right here, and we do see the shield come up. Now, it's a tricky spot because I can't really swap out into Nidoking and then leave my Poliwrath for it in the back, so kind of a weird spot here, and I don't really use Ninetales too often, so I decide to throw again. We get the shield, which is nice, and now we have a shield advantage going to come in with the Nidoking, and I decide not to shield here because I figured they might be single move, to be honest, and they are. It's a discharge. We're not able to farm down before they get to another move, which is a bit unfortunate, but thankfully they don't have lunge, so we're not being lowered in attack right here. See an Altaria come in, and this is where the flying type becomes a big problem. So I think my only play is to throw the Sand Tomb and hope that the opponent doesn't swap out and we land an Ice Punch at this point. But instead we get some beautiful lag all over this video. Wigglytuff in the back, and unless this Scald KOs, which it's not, we're gonna lose this game pretty hard. So definitely need 2 Scalds here. Unfortunately for us, this Charm damage is doing so much that we're not going to be able to get to an Ice Punch, and that means this game is over. This rank 4 player absolutely flexing on us, showing why they're rank 4 and why we're still stuck in the rank 2 wasteland right here. So we are getting blown out of this matchup, going for the Sand Tomb, and no point to shield here. These shields are basically useless. Sky Attack comes through, takes us out, and Nidoking going down in dramatic fashion. Let's hop into the next battle. And these next 2 battles, these aren't exactly the battles I like to showcase on my channel. You know, I usually leave these battles out and substitute them with other battles, but because it was 2 sets, it just sort of is what it is. You see the opponent, they don't want the damn smoke from that Ninetales, so they back out of the match. Superior couldn't handle, may have had something else weak. Maybe the whole team was weak to Ninetales, who knows, but they back out. We hop into the next battle, the 5th and final battle of this second set. It's a Ninetales into an Altaria, so another very positive lead right here. And once again, the opponent is staying in, so this tells me they're probably very weak to Ninetales. I actually waited to throw in case they did try to catch, and then I'm expecting a shield at this point, but they decide to let it go through instead. And at this point, the opponent doesn't want the smoke. And not only did the opponent not want the smoke, but the whole damn game didn't want the smoke because it crashed after that battle. So we got to restart. Niantic still hasn't fixed the crashing issue in the game. Maybe it's my phone issue, I don't know. But we take those last 2 battles. We go 4-1, so 8-2 overall in our first sets. So those were the battles featuring Nidoking and Poliwrath in Go Battle League Season 9 with the new move updates. Personally, I think Nidoking definitely has more play now, but it is still second fiddle to Nidoqueen. If you're going to use one of those 2 Pokemon, Nidoqueen is definitely the stronger option, but I think a team using both of them would be pretty damn interesting to see. Now, Poliwrath with Scald, I really love that move. That's probably my favorite move in the game. Niantic definitely needs to give that move to Starmie so that it has some play in Pokemon Go PvP. I would definitely recommend running it, and we'll see how it performs in Ultra League. I think it'll probably be better there. Poliwhirl might be a bit better for the Great League. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, commenting, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.